We spend our lives dodging it, afraid of it, ashamed when it happens. Failure, even the word feels sharp, like a slap. It's loaded with judgment. It's used to define people, and not in kind ways. We grow up hearing "don't fail," as if failure is some moral flaw, as if stumbling means we're somehow less worthy. But here's something strange, and kind of beautiful to think about. What if we've misunderstood failure entirely? What if failure isn't the opposite of success, but actually the only way to reach it? Let's go all the way back. The first time you tried to walk, you fell. Not once, not twice, dozens of times, face first into the floor. And yet no one looked at you and said, "Well, I guess they're not cut out for walking." They clapped, they cheered, they encouraged you to try again. Why? Because failure was seen for what it really was, proof that you were trying. That's the part we forget as we get older. We start tying our self-worth to outcomes. We start thinking failure says something final about us. You didn't get the job? Must mean you're not smart enough. Your project didn't work? Must mean you're not talented. That person left you? Must mean you're not lovable. But none of those things are true. Not even close. Failure is not a verdict. It's a process. Every person you admire, the artist, the innovator, the athlete, the dreamer, they've all failed, sometimes in massive, public, painful ways. But you know what they did next? They got back up. And that decision, to rise again, that's what shaped them. You cannot build anything worthwhile without risk. And every risk brings the possibility of failure. That's part of the deal. The only people who never fail are the ones who never try. And is that really the safer path? Living a life where you never push past your comfort zone? Never go after something just because it lights you up? Maybe what we're really afraid of isn't failure. Maybe it's being seen failing, but that's the only way you grow. You stretch, you strengthen, you become someone new, someone braver. So maybe it's time to stop fearing failure. Maybe it's time to reframe it, not as a signal that you've done something wrong, but as a badge that you're still in the game, you're out there, you're learning, you're living. And if failure is the only way to succeed, then you're already on the path. You're already doing it right. If failure is unavoidable, then the real skill isn't how to avoid it, it's how to use it. That's the secret no one tells you. The most successful people aren't the ones who fail the least. They're the ones who know how to fail forward, to fall and still move ahead, to take the hit and let it teach them something. Because failure always carries a message, but you have to listen closely to hear it. Sometimes it says, "You were aiming in the wrong direction." Sometimes it says, "You're not ready yet." And sometimes it says, "You're closer than you think." But if you treat failure like a dead end, you'll miss the signpost it's trying to be. Failing forward means asking better questions. Not, "Why did I mess this up?" but "What did I just learn that I couldn't have learned any other way?" It means understanding that progress often looks like circles before it looks like a straight line. That mastery is messy, and that growth is never silent. It groans and stumbles and stretches. Think of every skill you've ever developed: riding a bike, playing an instrument, having a hard conversation. Did you get it right the first time? Probably not, but every awkward attempt gave you feedback. Every misstep refined your instincts. Every moment you wanted to quit, but didn't, laid a brick in the road to somewhere better. Failing forward means changing how you talk to yourself. It means swapping out shame for curiosity. Instead of saying, "I'm such an idiot," you start saying, "That didn't work. Now what?" It's not about pretending failure feels good. It stings. It can break your heart. It can make you question everything. But it also cracks you open, and in those cracks, light can get in. We're told to celebrate wins. But what if we started celebrating the attempts, the brave tries, the bold ideas, the moments we said yes even when the odds weren't in our favor? Because those are the moments where we become who we're meant to be. Not polished, not perfect, but real, resilient, and moving forward. Every stumble is a step. Every rejection is redirection. Every so-called failure is a fork in the road pointing toward wisdom, if you let it. So don't rush to erase your failures. Sit with them, study them, let them shape you, because they will. And if you let them shape you in the right direction, they might just be the very thing that lifts you higher. That's the art of failing forward. What if the moment you thought you lost was actually the moment everything changed? It doesn't always feel that way. Defeat hits hard. The rejection letter, the failed launch, the silence after you put your heart into something. And the worst part? You don't just question the outcome, you start questioning yourself. Was I wrong to try? Did I misread the signs? Maybe I'm not cut out for this. But here's something strange that happens with time. You start to see those low moments differently. You realize they weren't just obstacles, they were openings. They forced you to pivot. They made you rethink. They showed you what didn't work, so you could finally find what does. There's a reason people talk about rock bottom like a turning point. It strips away the noise. It reveals what actually matters. And sometimes, that's the moment you get real with yourself. You stop performing. You stop chasing someone else's definition of success. You start building something that's actually yours. That kind of clarity doesn't come cheap. It's often paid for in disappointment, heartbreak, and starting over. But what if that's not failure? What if that's just a deeper form of success? The quiet kind. The kind that doesn't look like a trophy. The kind that looks like peace, or purpose, or finally feeling like you're on the right path, even if it's not the one you expected. Think about how many doors seem to slam shut, only to send you down a hallway you never would have explored otherwise. Think about the people you admire most. How many of their greatest moments were born from a time when it looked like they were losing? There's a kind of growth that only happens in the dark. And sometimes the version of success you were chasing wasn't even meant for you. Sometimes defeat clears the way for something better. So don't be so quick to label something a failure. That job you didn't get, it kept you available for the one that changed everything. That relationship that ended, it taught you how to choose yourself. That project that flopped, it pushed you to create something braver, bolder, truer. What if success isn't a single win, but a series of well-earned redirections? What if each so-called failure is actually your life whispering, not this, but keep going? Because underneath the sting, beneath the ego bruise, there's often a deeper truth trying to surface. And once you stop seeing failure as the end of the road, you'll realize it was the beginning all along. We've been sold a lie, the glossy montage, and the neat little timeline. The idea that success moves in one clean, upward path, like a staircase to greatness. Step 1, get inspired. Step 2, work hard. Step 3, win. But real life doesn't look like that. Real life looks like scribbles, like U-turns, like loops and false starts and awkward pauses. The myth of the straight line is comforting. Sure, it makes success look tidy, predictable, earned. But it also creates this quiet panic inside us when our own path looks different. Like, wait, am I behind? Did I mess this up? Why does everyone else seem farther ahead? Here's the truth they don't print on posters. Most people you admire didn't rise to success, they crawled through it. They backtracked, they failed in public, they questioned their entire direction more than once. But the myth says if you're struggling, you're doing it wrong, and that's dangerous, because it turns growth into something shameful. It makes you hide the mess, when the mess is actually where all the magic happens. You might feel stuck right now, but that doesn't mean you've stopped growing. It might mean you're underground, forming roots. You might feel like you've failed, but what if this is just the part where your story gets interesting? Every overnight success took years you didn't see, and the straight line, it's just an illusion drawn over a map that was always winding. Some of the best detours will feel like disasters when they happen. Only later will you realize they saved you, they rerouted you, they carved something into your character that nothing else could. So if you're not where you thought you'd be by now, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're living a story worth telling. Because real growth isn't linear. It's layered. It's lumpy. It's human. And that's not a flaw in the system, that is the system. The myth of the straight line makes success seem rare and rigid. But the truth is, there are a million ways to get there. And most of them don't look the way you imagined. So stop comparing your path to someone else's highlight reel. Stop treating detours like delays. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're building something real. And if you keep showing up, even in the chaos, you'll look back one day and see that every twist and turn had a purpose. The path wasn't straight, but it led you exactly where you needed to go.